What's up, Facebook? We're shaking things up today, and we're just being really casual. We're not sticking to the norm. So joining me on screen are my guests already. John Baines. John.
Hi.
Hello. Michelle Miller.
Hello.
And Zach Gillis made his way
here.
I don't know how Zach got on here. He got the link somehow and magically appeared.
You know what? Don't pay him attention. I was asked.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee reunion party with 3 members of the cast and team. Just a couple announcements. One, this Friday starts our Plays at Home series. Hey, yo. Kicking it off with Wesley Play, a new play. This is our virtual new play festival. And we're going to be having another house party episode this week with Wesley on to talk about the play. Just so everybody knows, we're going to be cutting back our programming a little bit on house parties so we could start putting more focus on getting opened back up with the rest of the state and hopefully doing theater this summer. So we're going to be putting more focus into that and also into me watching Netflix. So that was a joke. Everybody has to laugh.
My God.
Anyway, all right. Well, Zach, can you kick it off with a song for us?
Okay, what song you want me to do?
I would like you to do "Kiss by a Rose" by Seal.
Absolutely not.
Please, though.
I don't know
Look
how.
at my face.
What about it?
What did you say?
What?
He said,
I said, does this look like a face that's gonna sing Seal right now?
I mean, I don't know, but sure. Before we start singing, everybody, tonight is brought to you by Blue Moon. John has moonshine.
I don't have moonshine.
Michelle has Lysol. And
I have water.
We saw another glass there, Zach.
And juice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody get their shot of disinfectant ready. We'll take it at the end of the show. All right, Zach, what are you going to sing first for us?
First, I'm going to sing Summertime from Porgy and Bess, from Porgy and Bess. But I'm going to do it in the style of, you get on my nerves. I'm going to do it in the style of Ella Fitzgerald.
All right. Why not Seal?
Are you?
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna jump through this screen. I'm gonna just leave.
Don't leave.
And then I have to spend time, and we're all gonna leave.
Yeah. No.
All right. I'm gonna keep it all on the screen so we could make funny faces at Zach while he sings. So
I'm
everybody,
not gonna be looking at y'all.
Okay. Everybody, mute yourself. That's not Zach.
Okay. Wait. Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mother's good looking. So hush, little baby, and don't you cry. One of these old mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. and then you spread your wings and you take to the sky. But till that morning, there is nothing, 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 nothing that can harm you. With daddy and mother standing by. Oh, baby, 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 don't you cry. Yeah.
Zach, was that supposed to be a cappella?
No.
Yeah.
It was.
It was a cappella? Are you serious?
The whole time, yeah.
But you sounded like you started to stop
You
you.
sounded
So
great.
beautiful. You sounded so beautiful. But it doesn't work.
I'm gonna drink my juice.
No, you started.
That's how we.
You started, and it was so good. I didn't want to stop you. But look, you have a fan club that was so good.
Oh, hi, Deb. I love you.
I just want to point out Deb's profile picture really quick.
Oh, Deb.
The person on the left, that is Josh.
Alex, I cannot hear what you're saying.
Oh no.
Are you saying things? Can everybody else hear Zach, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, no.
Hold on, John.
Um,
Can you hear me now? No. How about now? Can you hear me now?
this is going really well. Yay!
So if
I'm in a different spot.
you look at Deb's profile picture, the person to the left of her is Josh Mauer, our executive director, in drag.
I see him in that bowl red
Isn't that
lip.
great?
When was this?
That was in
Slay all day.
when we were at Bethel. You just-
That was when you were doing what?
It was our makeup class at Bethel,
Oh, I see.
and it was like his final project. He decided to. Yep.
Go,
Yep.
Josh!
I know, right?
I'm
Anyway,
here for you.
I'm shocked.
I'm still here.
he's definitely not watching either, so we could talk all the crap we want. Anyway, so I'm so glad you guys are all here. Like I said, the point of this was to have a little Putnam County reunion, and I wish we could have got more of our cast members, but everybody was so busy. Deb said he was Marilyn Monroe. I forgot that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see it now.
We can't show you the pictures of the skirt blowing up on this.
Come on, Norma Jean.
Tune in to our late night house party to see that.
Ooh.
Anyway, what was I saying? I got distracted by the thought of the dress blowing up.
You wish more would have come.
Yes, I wish more of the cast members would have joined, but everybody's so busy. It's a busy time of life, even though everybody's quarantined at home. So we won't throw too much shade. But here we have our music director from the show, and John Baines. Zach played Mitch Mahoney.
Mitch.
Mahoney.
Thanks. And Michelle played Olive. I can't remember her last name. What was her last name?
Ostrowski.
Ostrowski.
I'm sorry.
Mike Wazowski.
So I want to start off on Putnam and talk about that. What was it like for each of you deciding to do a show with a brand new company that had never done anything before? Was that a big risk for you? Was it scary? Was it exciting? Talk to me about it.
I found it exciting. The only time it felt risky was when I started to panic on behalf of you and Josh. I was like, just because I was like, I don't know who you're friends with. I don't know how active or, your friend, I didn't know who was going to show up to see all of the work that we did, but I loved the cast like right away, and everybody was dope. We just dove right in, and we were really hard workers, and that was all really exciting. But yeah, I got really nervous as it came closer and closer to opening night because I was like, "Who's gonna be in the seats?" Like, you know. I don't know.
I was also. What about you two?
No,
Well, I mean, this is like our friendship. I hadn't talked to you in like 3 years since I graduated, right?
Yeah, a whole nother
But-
topic we'll talk about later.
So like you asked me to come out, and I was like, yeah, sure, definitely. Or maybe not quite that enthusiastically, I don't know. But I showed up to auditions with like very little voice. I don't know if you remember that,
I do.
but I ended up singing something in my head voice and showing a video recording to John of me belting because he's like, how can I tell that you can belt based on that? I'm like, you can't. But it was
There were several people that auditioned for us that I had to tell John. I was like, you just have to trust me. They're incredibly talented. And both of you were one of them because I don't exactly auditioned and Michelle had like a sliver of a vocal cord to work on.
It was crazy, but yeah. And I mean, the whole process, the cast just clicked so well. Like, I don't think I've been in a show like that, like ever before then or since, that's just clicked and meshed so well and matched like levels talent wise and everything like that. It was, yeah, I want to do it again.
Yeah. Zach, were you on the board at that point? Or did you come on
I
after?
was on the board because I will never forget it. We were in Derek's office, and Derek and Stacy had wanted to meet with me about it, and I had just gotten on another board. And that was my first board, so I was like, "Let's go, let's get it." I was like, "So what do you need for me to do? Do you need me to do this and that and blah blah blah?" Blah, blah. And they were like, "No, we just want you to sing, but that other stuff is great." And I was like, "Dang, okay." So
Why was I at this meeting?
you weren't there yet.
I would have been like, no, all that other stuff is great. Let's have you do that.
Yeah, because I was still like in my diversity professional mode, which I still kind of am. But I remember you were like, hey, so there's this part, Mitch, check it out. And I was like, I actually would love to do that part. And then you had me send a video of me singing in church to Johnny. And then I guess the rest is just history.
Yeah, there was pretty much
Blast.
over half the cast. I had to tell John, just trust me. All your trust in me.
Because Zach is busy and we had never met before, and
Right.
I was like, so I have this guy in mind, and I was like, okay, but I don't know it. Like, I don't know him. Like, I don't. And then you sent me the video.
I was cracking up because I hadn't been to a rehearsal in a while, and Johnny had emailed me, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a little nervous about your part," and I thought to myself, "Oh, he don't know." And I was like, next vocal rehearsal we had, I was together.
You were all the way together. Yeah.
No, it was fantastic. And everyone, just like what Michelle was saying, everyone just meshed. It was great. There was just a genuine camaraderie. And honestly, it was something that I had never really experienced in any other show up until the end. So it was great. I missed it.
Yeah. It seemed like for everybody, there was so much more at stake than just doing a show. And I think everybody really grabbed onto that idea that this is the launch of a company and let's make it as awesome as possible. And I'll never forget the moment. It was opening night and we were in pre-show circle, and I don't remember who it was, but I felt like the president. It was they came up and whispered in my ear. They're like, we have to add 50 more chairs. I'm like, we have to do what? And it was packed. We had such a packed run for that show, and we were freaking doing it in a gym.
It was great.
It was perfect. It
worked out perfectly.
What everybody out there doesn't know, if you saw the show, is that the cast almost every night had to take down the entire stage.
I think it was every night.
And then put it back up the next day.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we did.
Because it was in the gym and the Battelle Center had programming in there. So
they had
the stage.
Zumba for 60 over. You know, they had Zumba, and we could not be in their way.
Yes.
Zumba.
Oh
And,
my
like,
gosh.
Ping Pong Club was another one, I think. That
Ping pong club?
yeah.
I would have
Wow.
joined.
Gotta make way for the pings and the pongs.
So what was your guys'
Ping pong.
what was your favorite moment of Putnam County? Like in the story, what was the favorite scene or moment that you had?
The I Love You song. With
That was
Dad,
lit,
Jack.
Michelle.
Can't you tell?
Look, baby, my character was going around. I had 2 kids,
Yeah.
Logan and Olive. I'm not, no.
But
But
we
no,
didn't
that
even
was,
know.
it was, we didn't. It was incredible though. It was incredible. Yeah.
I loved the opening number. I think that was it was my first
Yeah.
time conducting a live hit, and the musicians were awesome and they were so fun and they were really helpful because there was a lot I didn't know. And then when everyone meshed together and I could tell they were listening and responding to what I was doing and I was listening and responding to them. And then of course the actors on stage were too. And it was there's something, that's why I keep coming back to try and music direct everything I can, because when the actors and the musicians do the things that you practiced, it's a really good feeling because it doesn't always happen. But when everybody's like, or like in Magic Foot, Cam's song,
That was good.
just like that crescendo that
Yep.
which sometimes didn't happen in rehearsal, but then it did happen on stage, and that's just like a really good feeling.
Goodness.
Surprise guest.
I can't.
Hi, Mr. Banks.
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Most of them know me, I think. All right, well, have a good time.
Thanks.
Thank you. I knew I wanted somebody's parent to come in.
It's not mine. Mine won't.
Oh, come on. We need Michelle's dad to make a guest appearance.
No.
Right.
No, you don't.
That is hilarious. No, I love being able to sit in the audience and talk to people.
People loved you sitting out there.
And I had to be careful that I didn't get too distracted with my little asides so I wouldn't miss my cues. Because I'd be leaning back and one of y'all would go up to spell and I would turn to the person and I'd be like, I don't think they're going to make it. or stuff like that. And they would just crack up. And then there was one point where I had to stop because I thought this poor thing next to me was about to pee on herself. She was laughing so hard.
We should have sold
So
diapers.
I loved that part. I
We could've-
loved it. It was fun.
We should have sold 574 theater diapers for the people who sat next to you.
Some depends.
There you go. I gotta say
And I
that
just did-
that was one of like, like everybody, like when you're a theater artist, you have like a favorite choice you made, like whether it's an actor, like, oh, I love that choice I made. Like that was one of my favorite directing choices, was having you sit in the audience. I think it just added so much to the show. And like you said, people really enjoyed it. I should have sat next to you one night. It would have been fun.
No, because I probably would have broke character.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite moment was in the show. It was probably, I really liked Pandemonium, like the Les Mis moment.
Yeah.
That was
great.
That's another one of my favorite things that I've done. I love that picture with like Barfay in the background with the American flag and like everybody doing the step. And
Yes. And then when audience members realized what was going on,
Yep.
that was the best thing ever. They just started screaming.
yeah,
Like,
like,
Godspeed.
and I thought it was so frustrating to do it in the gym, but like later on, and I don't know why I didn't learn this before. I was listening to a podcast about Putnam, and when they did their out of town tryout, they were supposed to like be at this like really nice performing arts center at a high school, upstate New York,
Mhm.
and the theater got booked. So they're like, oh, you have to be in the cafeteria stage. And so they did the whole thing in a cafeteria. And so like that's what it was written for. And it started as an improv show in Lower Manhattan. And like this is like one of those like terrible theater stories. Is like the lady who conceived it and directed it and starred in it went all the way to like Broadway, and they were like going to Broadway, and the producers are like, "Well, you're not good enough," and they fired her. Got someone else to direct it, and so
Basura.
she got taken off her own show. Yeah.
Wow. Wasn't Josh Gad in the original Broadway cast, or did I make that up?
I think you made that up.
I feel like I read something. I watched. Have you guys seen the movie Little Monsters with Josh Gad and Lupita Nyong'o?
Yeah.
It's like a zombie movie where
No.
Lupita has a kindergarten class and she has to save her children from the zombies. But Josh Gad is in it, and I was looking him up, and I think it said something about he was. I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now, and he was not in it.
Oh, you're doing it right now. What?
Jesse Tyler Ferguson was.
John,
He must be Googling something.
on his phone.
IMDb.
Oh,
That was scary.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson was there?
Yeah, he was Coney Bear.
Oh,
Really?
that makes sense.
Leaf Coney Bear.
You couldn't get all of my-
Leafy, leaf.
Leaf was supposed to be with us tonight.
I know, Michael, my little baby.
Shade.
Come back.
My little baby. He said, come back.
Yeah, we had such a good cast, and like everybody's so like in different spots of their life too. You know, like
Yeah.
Taylor, who played Rona, now has newborn twins, and they're adorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim
Oh
Madison.
my God.
Tim Madison's still the exact same.
Tim ain't never gonna change. I love him.
Tim is eternal. Tim was our vice principal Panch, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yep.
Like
Oh my god.
he was just perfect for that role.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Like his awkward encounters with Rona are still so cringy. They make me die.
Like my stomach just turned thinking about it. It was so great. It's like, oh God.
And Taylor almost didn't audition for the show.
No, I had to coerce her.
So
I'm
glad.
glad y'all did.
It was like
I'm
the
so
theater,
glad she did though.
yeah, the theater gods like made everything align perfectly and brought us exactly who we needed for that show. And it was great. It was a good first show. Well, guys, do you want to play our game for the evening?
Yes.
I'm gonna lose.
We're going to play some Broadway Geopardy.
I'm fine.
All right. So everybody, we all knew this was going to be a bad idea. I have no script tonight. Normally I have it on my notepad. I got nothing. Blank.
Yes.
But you still have it.
I still have it. And I have all of our other episodes. Anyway,
Oh,
I've done it enough times now. I know what we're doing. All right. So Broadway Jeopardy rules are you got to answer with the question, and first one to raise their hand will get to answer. We'll give it a little bit of a delay to see if anybody in the audience wants to play along. And there's 5 questions. Some of them are easy. Some of them are not.
We win
some of
money?
them no. If I had money to give you, Michelle, I would. But
Oh, okay.
I spent all I had on this beer. So
Relatable.
what is wrong with him?
a lot. All
Would you
right.
like a list?
Yeah. Again, stay tuned for the next episode. All right, here we go. First question. What is the mother's name in Next to Normal? John, give it a second. John, where's your piano? We need the Jeopardy theme.
Oh, I left it upstairs.
Da 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 da.
If you're out of If you're out in the
Yeah, like
audience,
my stank juice. Had to put
All
the
right.
stank juice on it.
John, what's your guess?
Who is Diana?
Who is Diana is correct. Nick Rogers also got that. Congratulations. everybody. All right, next one. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Who originally played Jenna in Waitress? John, I assume that's raising your hand.
It is.
Okay, don't answer yet. Give our audience a second.
I think I know it.
She's one of the most
Where's the
amazing.
popcorn?
She's one of the most amazing actresses I've ever seen in my life, and she's also super down to earth in private and doesn't have social media. That makes me sad. All right, John.
Queen.
Who is Jesse Mueller?
Who is Jessie Mueller? Is correct.
Correct.
She was supposed to be in a play when all of this went down. I think that was the theater god saying, "Jesse, stop doing plays, do musicals."
You know, but
All right, next one. You ready? John's on a roll. John's got 2. Here we go. Who was, meaning who played the original Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett?
I love half an answer.
I have half an answer also.
All right, well, we'll see
I
if you
got
guys
no
can
answer.
pick one. Zach's like, I got nothing.
I know Mrs. Lovett.
This one, Sweeney was a question on my first episode on House Party, and I don't remember the answer.
That's why I put it on here to see if you would remember.
Sorry.
See if you.
trash.
You're like my Spanish learning app that always reads
Oh,
me like,
also, Deb, she had Jessie Mueller in class when she taught at Syracuse. Yes, sir, that is the person. Yeah,
Really, Deb?
isn't that wild?
wow,
Anyways. All right. So what are our guesses, friends?
that's amazing.
Angela Lansbury?
Okay. Anything else?
I have no clue.
Wasn't that Tom
Angela.
Cruise? I'm pretty sure that was Tom Cruise.
Yep, you're right. Actually, it was what's his name? Selleck.
Oh, Tom.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
yeah.
Selleck.
Len Carew and Angela
Carew!
Lansbury.
Shout out to Michelle.
Thank you.
Got half the answer. You get half a
I
point.
got a half that matters.
You need to channel your inner Olive and do better. All right, here we go. Never mind. Okay. Peggy Sawyer is from Allentown in this classic musical. Johnny with the stuffed animal flair. Let's see, we got a comment.
I don't know enough.
Though, it's not this musical, but it makes me think of Bright Star.
What? Peggy Sawyer?
Allentown.
Oh.
My story.
All right, what's your guess, Johnny?
What is 42nd Street?
Allentown. What did you say about Allentown? That's one of my favorite lines.
Me and Michelle with our slight lip curses.
I knew the first 2 and I didn't get to answer them, so
I'm sorry.
my hands
gotta-
didn't move as fast and we have laggy internet.
She was like, I knew the first ones, but somebody.
It's because he has the stuffed animal. The stuffed animal gets higher before you can raise your hand.
It's true.
All right, last one. Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Dan Fogler won the Tony Award for Putnam County for which role? Zach.
I'm gonna guess, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No iPhone, Zach. Just ask Siri.
Hey, I don't know.
Hey Siri, who is Dan Fogler?
Here's some information.
Thank you, girl.
Technology. Alex, was it best lead actor or was it best supporting actor?
Best supporting.
All right, I think I know.
All right, John, what's your guess?
I feel like probably it was Chip. No. Sorry, not Chip. What the heck's his name? Michael's part.
Coney Bear?
No.
Tony B.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I was gonna guess Barf.
Hey, I was gonna guess that too.
If you ever need a pick me up, go listen to his Tony acceptance speech. It's the most incredible thing ever. Because like the last 30 seconds, he does it as Barfay. And
That's so cute.
he uses the monologue like from when he wins. He's like, and I can breathe out my nostrils.
I'm gonna know what that's like soon.
Girl.
Too real.
It's fine.
Well, anyway, so what are, I want to get everybody's thoughts on, things starting to open back up soon. Are you worried? Are you excited? Not to get too political, but what are you thinking about everything going on right now in Indiana starting to open back up tomorrow?
People didn't stay home even when they were all supposed to stay home.
That's true.
So since I work in a bank, our lobbies are still closed, which is great. But I worry, like, once we open, because even people who show symptoms and are sick aren't getting tested and are still going out. Like, I don't know. I just kind of assume I'm going to get it because of that. But
So have you seen a lower rate of bank robbery?
I haven't ever seen a bank robbery, so we're going to keep that at 0.
Sorry, I couldn't reason.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
What about the other two? What about y'all?
I still think it's a bit too soon. I know that we're still sort of postponing things at SBCC, which I think is a wise thing. Yeah. We just need some more time inside. Kind of flatten the curve. I feel like it won't eliminate the disease, of course, but the less cases we have, the better. Feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's a little soon. I think it's a little too soon.
Yeah, my logic brain says that it's too soon, but my selfish brain really would like to try to start getting back to business as usual. And I know that that's selfish. I'm very aware that that's selfish. I'm not saying that is the best decision. I'm saying that there's a part of me that is hopeful. Well, no, because I've got friends in different that outside of the States, right, that have said that their countries have opened back up and then the numbers have just spiked.
Right.
Wow.
But I guess my question is, like, if there's no vaccine yet, if there's no preventative measure other than staying inside indefinitely, like, we're all gonna get it at some point. We're all gonna get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that it's later. I worry about, like, yeah, I don't know.
See, and at the same time, like Sweden, for example, they haven't closed. They've told all their at-risk people, like old people and sick people, to stay inside, but everything else is business as usual, and their numbers are fairly low. So it's it's interesting, what people do and what works and what doesn't work. The thing I have to say, though, is I think there's a really detailed plan in place, for Indiana's. I think there's been some other states that have just, opened up everything right away. And how are things? Georgia. Yeah. and they already saw a spike in numbers, right? So like, at least Indiana, our government has been like, here is a very methodical plan. And then they also said, and if the minute things get bad, back a phase, and so that at least gives me comfort, that there's at least people looking out for us and using numbers and data and science. So to be less political now, what's the most fun thing you've done during quarantine? John's about to go get his piano and give us a mini recital.
I'm still working, so.
Yeah, me too.
Have you had any fun even though you're working?
No. I'm doing a lot more painting and stuff like that, so that's nice.
Has your drinking gone up or down?
I don't want to answer that.
Hey, mine's gone up. I sat by the fire the other night and had 4 beers and was ready to pass out. Like, man, it's been a while. All right, so Zach or John? Zach or John, what's the most fun thing you've done during quarantine? That's PG-13.
LOL.
All right.
I ordered gigantic paper. I have some. Zach, answer. I'll go get it.
Okay, Zach, what's your answer?
Okay, the funnest thing that I did. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Oh, the house party app. Like connecting with my cousins.
Did they steal my idea?
Ain't nobody steal your idea, fool. But we were just like, it was great because we were sitting there like, we should have done this a long time ago. So just imagine like 8 Guinnesses all together talking, and that's a fraction of us. So that would be a lot of fun, just connecting with people via the app. Ooh, and baking.
Yes. I made cheesecake.
I've been baking. Ooh, God. Go, girl.
I got a grill, so I've been doing a lot of grilling.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I started off with blondies because I love blondies. I take a blondie over brownie. So
Same.
I had white chocolate chips in them. I wasn't going to put in walnuts, but one of my roommates has a walnut allergy. And I was like, yeah, we're not going to risk that.
Skip it.
And you know what? No. And the last thing I made was a peach and blueberry crumble.
Ooh.
Girl.
Unbelievable.
It'll make you slap Sandy. It was good.
Slap
That's
who?
your mom.
Oh,
Hi, mama.
Sandy.
I was like, poor Sandy, and why is she getting slapped?
I'm like, oh, that's so good.
Watch out, Sandy.
They're not watching.
Well, that's good. Now it'll be a surprise slap. All right, Johnny, what's the big paper you have?
I ordered gigantic paper off the internet. It's so big, and I also have giant markers and a lot of colored pencils, and I'm writing a musical that Michelle is starring in, even though it's not happened yet.
It will.
I've been using the giant paper to storyboard and to brainstorm and to plot because I like to see everything at the same time and I like to color code. And I was like, I can't do this on my computer. I need giant paper, and I found giant paper. So it's been really fun to like try writing in a new way. That was probably the most fun I've had.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of golfing. And I was golfing and I met this guy. I got paired with him. He was driving from Chicago to Washington, D.C., saw the golf course off the toll road, stopped, and decided to golf. Only played 6 rounds, smoked marijuana the whole time, and then got back in his car and kept driving to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
You guys golf together?
Don't know if I'd recommend that.
Yeah, we did golf together. We just, because I just went by myself, so we just randomly got paired. But yeah, it was interesting.
Wow.
He was a nice guy. Yeah, he was probably like in his 40s.
Oh.
Got you.
It was weird, but it was funny. It was just like one of those random stories, that's just like when you get
So
really
random.
drunk, you tell at a party. What's next?
Wonder how he's doing now.
Yeah.
Probably high at some golf course in Washington, D.C. is my guess.
Listen.
Here's another story while golfing. This is a true story. I'm golfing with these 3 guys. It's this guy and his dad and his friend. And the younger guy, he's probably like 3 or 4 years older than I am, right? He walks up to me and he has a joint in his hand, right? And shows me it. He looks at me and goes, "Are you a cop?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Oh, do you care if I smoke this?" I'm like, "Don't you think you should have asked me if I was a cop first before you Yeah. Anyway.
Priority.
Just show you.
See, all the golf courses in Michigan were closed. So all the Michiganders were coming down to Indiana to golf.
That makes sense. Crazy.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Michigander.
Dang Michigan. Everybody tell me a favorite role you've played in a musical or play. We'll start with John Baines. Oh yeah, that one. That's a good one. Ethel Merman and Annie, get your gun.
And every day of my life.
I think-
Come back to me.
Nope.
Ooh. Ooh.
And now we're gonna solo him.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you? Good? Good. I don't often pursue or just I don't often have the opportunity to be in play. And I was in a play called Iphigenia 2.0. And I played, so if you don't know the story of Iphigenia, it's about this daughter and this father. And to win a war, he has to sacrifice his daughter so that the winds will come and blow his ships to the place he's trying to fight. So the play is basically about like that. And that was really dark, but it was so fun. And there was fake blood and it tasted gross. It was all over my body. It was a good time. That's my favorite.
Interesting. All right. Now we're gonna put Michelle on the spot.
Oh. Well, honestly, probably Olive. Or maybe Gertrude in Seussical.
We said one.
Both of those.
You know what?
Mama's said 3. So. And then in a straight play, I was Kate Keller in The Miracle Worker, and that is one that probably challenged my acting skills the most. So that was really fun.
Shout out to Deb who directed that, who's watching.
Yeah. Hey, Deb.
I sound designed that.
You did.
I just have to say it again because I think we talked about it in Michelle's episode. Like, I want to do Miracle Worker sometime with like the true Helen Keller experience. And this may sound really bad, but it's funny. If you don't know Miracle Worker, like at the very end, she like is splashing water on her face, right? And so I think everybody should have noise canceling headphones and be blindfolded and sit there for 2.5 hours and then get a bucket of water poured on them at the end.
I hate it.
I don't know about that.
It's an immersive experience.
I don't know, you can do that by yourself.
Absolutely not.
You know, when all of the people who are protesting at the state houses and drinking Lysol, they'll come and see that show and rejoice. So anyway,
This guy.
no filter tonight, friends. It's Sunday. All right, Zach, your favorite. Go.
Hi everyone. My favorite role in the production period would have to be Azael and Debussy's The Prodigal Son, L'Enfant Prodigue. And it definitely challenged me, not only as a singer, because I had to hit those good report card notes and the operatic tone quality. And I had to be emotional and things. I was a prodigal son. So it was great. It was an epic challenge and I loved it. Shout out to Rob Ryan for operatic irregulars.
I was just thinking good report card note. I'm like, a C+? I don't understand.
A's, B's, and C's.
A's, B's, and C's.
If I had a C, I was happy. Deb sent in her reaction to my Helen Keller experience play.
No.
Thank you, Dan.
That is the correct answer.
There were 3 separate no's. 1 no.
No.
Shut him
Definitely
down.
For real.
I would have to say my favorite role would either be Tevye, just because of the Tevye shake, or Chad in All Shook Up. That was a good one. Kiss Me Kate was fun too when John directed that. I got to play Bill.
Yeah.
Especially because we cut all the hard dance, so I didn't have to do any dancing. So I basically just got to sing. That was nice.
Relatable.
Speaking of Fiddler on the Roof, that made me think. Just last night, I watched the show Unorthodox on Netflix. Have you guys seen it yet?
My grandma's seen it.
Your grandma's seen it.
My grandma was just telling me about it. Yeah, she said it was really good.
It was so good. It doesn't take very long. It's only 4 episodes, and it's beautifully, just beautifully made. I was weeping in the 4th episode, and it's a show for musicians and artists, as well as like a really very well studied, very like thoroughly researched, fictional retelling of this woman's life. It's so good, so good.
Well, I love a good cry.
See, I'm afraid if I watch something that makes me, if I watch something right now that makes me cry, I don't think I'm going to stop crying. It's just going to keep going.
You just let it all out.
I've been seeing all these people on Twitter that like finally had a good cry today. Felt good. I'm like, push that down. Just squash it down.
That's like me once a week.
Like every day.
Every morning you wake up like you are not going to feel today. You're not going to feel a single thing. Push it all down.
Alex,
Listen,
that's gonna result in an ulcer.
I'm okay with that.
for real. Someone's gonna bust a pop or something.
An ulcer is cheaper to treat than therapy sessions, so ulcer it is.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
because it's coming.
We've been so political tonight. This is our most political house party episode.
I know,
therapy is political?
All right, everybody, tell me who you voted for in the last presidential election, and your social security number and credit card number. Go.
Listen here, Tulane.
I got this when I was in New Orleans. Love New Orleans.
The Nola baby.
All right, what's next? Everybody's done multiple 574 shows or things so far. So tell me, what's your favorite memory of 574 theater thus far?
I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I'm trying to just let somebody else talk.
No, go for it.
John Baines,
My
go.
favorite was Little Women, and I don't think it gets enough hype. It was so much fun, and it was so much fun to make, and the cast was great.
Thank you.
I don't know, it was so much fun. It was such a good time, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. And it's probably like among the top 3 of my most favorite things that I've ever done. So.
I just hated the animal exercises you made us do in rehearsal.
Oh my god, me too.
That was the worst. We're not going
the tadpole starfish one. That was. I
It was my
Lord.
company. It was my company. I'm like, what the heck am I doing in this show? Just kidding. Love you, John.
Yeah, it's fine.
John's like, sign off.
It's like, and I'm leaving.
All right, who's
No,
next?
I loved the whole show.
Michelle, you just started talking, so it's you.
Oh,
I don't even know. I don't have a favorite moment. Actually, I do, but it has nothing to do with any of the shows that we did. It was during.
do we have the same one?
No,
No, so
because you
you're-
weren't there.
Okay, cool.
It was during Into the Woods, where I had all my fun health problems and was completely drugged out of it. And sitting upstairs on this bench with a blanket, like this big, huge, puffy pink blanket around me and my legs up next to me. And John Baines added me to his Instagram story because it looked like I had legs that were not mine. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but literally, like, I'm sitting upright and my legs are next to me on the bench.
It looked like someone touched your legs and just like sat them down.
That is
You asked
funny.
him.
Fully upright and then just like
I'm fine. Yeah.
Oh god,
That's my favorite off-screen moment.
that is funny.
Zach.
I would say Okay, I have two, and I get to say two. So don't be. So one of them was when it was at the reception, and the four of us, y'all, plus Taylor, did Songs for a New World.
Oh yeah, that was so much
That
fun.
opening, it was so fantastic, and it was so applicable to my life at that moment because, child, my world was new. And then my other one was during Putnam. I will always laugh when Taylor would reprimand Steven, Mr. Tolentino. So she would say his name so hard, she'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Tolentino, okay." And I would be like, I think the last show, I was like silently crying because I couldn't scream laugh. So I was laughing, and then I remember I kind of looked at Taylor, and she was about to break, so she had to rush him out. Oh, it was so funny, Mr. Tolentino. Okay.
That's what those kids are in for.
Yeah.
That tore me to shreds. It was so funny.
My favorite memory, I don't think any of you all were there, but our tour when we went down to Bern for Hello Dolly, it was a good time. And it was like miserable in the same spot because it was all this work to get down there. We were down there for like a week getting ready, and then like came to opening night and there were like 6 people there. It was just there were more than 6. There was probably like 20. But you know, it was like such a bad feeling. Literally all you could do was just crack up laugh. Like that was it. That's all you could do. But it was such a good time to like take a show on the road. And like Bern wasn't a big town and they had this big festival, but like wherever we were when we were down there, like I saw 574 being represented, and it was like we took over this little like old school Amish town for a couple days. It was hilarious. And only 20 of them showed up for the show.
Rude.
I mean, not to, it was a great time, and not to hate on anyone down there, but it was like they were like, "You'll probably sell out your run." So we're like, "All right." And we get down there, 40 people. Woo!
It was like, "Ooh, it's a packed house out there."
I mean,
maybe it's secretly like low key a really subversive, like edgy town. They were like, "Oh, it's not Spring Awakening. I'm not going."
no, I don't think that was it.
Totally.
And like, you know, like when your director says like pre-show, like no matter how many people are out there, we still give them the best show. I couldn't even say that. You know, I'm like, you know what? Let's just go out there. Let's just go out there and have a good time. Like just treat it as a preview for our Mishawaka shows next week. It'll be great. It's just like there's so many like starting a company. There's just like really like realistic like raw moments that are just like you don't see when you're just you know acting somewhere, and it's just like all you can do is laugh. Or like the other good time was like when we all went. I think you all were there when we all went for drinks after we opened or after we closed Putnam, and that was like
was that?
Probably.
it was at Smith's, and
Yeah,
it's
that
because
was
like
fun.
I had graduated,
Oh,
so I finally got to
yeah.
drink with like.
Yeah.
Derek and stuff, and we were all having a good time and drinking, and like yeah, it was just good memories of that
Yeah.
time.
One now. That made me think of another one.
Okay.
Into the Woods set build day. That
Oh.
was such a good. Like I know it was a lot of hard work and stuff, but that day, like days like that to me are like theater in the summer in like South Bend, Mishawaka. Like that is all of my. So many of my good memories are just like stupid long days that would be ridiculous in any other field, any other context, and like absolutely unsafe working environment. Like
It was not unsafe.
No, yours was marginally more safe. But
Ours was very safe. Thank you.
yours is very
No.
safe. Just like all your like dorky like nerdy friends. Like I don't know how to put it into words, but days like that are just like magic. I love that.
It was a lot of lifting. It was a lot of heavy lifting.
And coffee and jokes and show tunes, and the weather was nice. It was good.
Mm.
Didn't it storm?
It did after.
Oh,
Oh my
Because the
god!
weather was good, and I'm like, wait.
It was good until after.
But
Like, wait a minute.
I remember
Like,
we
I gotta
went.
think.
I don't remember where I went. I went to get food, but I was coming back and it was hailing so hard I couldn't see. Like I was
Yeah.
driving and it was I was like, oh hail no. Anyway.
There it is.
Yeah, Into the Woods. Into the Woods strike was even worse because we were all so tired.
Yeah, I hated
I
that.
was excused from that.
Michelle, it's like I was excused.
Illness perks.
He was like, bye.
See,
Zach,
for
I
all
think
of
you were
those-
ushering that night, but you were like, all right, good luck, everyone.
Wait, what did I do? What
I
happened?
think you were ushering closing night of Into the Woods, but then when we started to strike, we like hugged goodbye, and you were like, all right, see you later.
I was like, bye. No, I had to take the tickets. I had to do my board duty. I was like, thank you. And then y'all striked.
Board duty. You left. Show wasn't even over and you were gone.
You don't know my wife, Peppa. Exactly. The lights went out and so was I. No, I had to stay afterwards and speak to the peoples. Don't shake your head at me.
I don't even remember it.
You don't remember Into the Woods? Well, that makes sense. I remember being terrified every day.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's fair. I remember
legit
throwing
had-
beans.
Yeah.
Throwing beans.
That was a good, yeah. That whole show, that was so good. I remember after the first preview, I told everybody like applaud at the end with the ASL applause, and at the end of the first preview, it was like silent. I'm like, oh no, everybody hated it. They didn't understand it. Oh my gosh, what do we do? We're gonna have to change everything. And then I looked over the balcony. I was up in the balcony. Should have said that because I couldn't see anyone. And then I saw everybody doing the thing. I was like, oh, sweet Jesus, thank you. And I was like so terrified that everybody just hated it. Oh my gosh.
Sit there like this.
Like that was trash.
Slow blinking.
Slow. All right. Well, we're getting near the hour point, so let's have Zach sing his second song. We'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll peace out and go night night.
I don't even know what the music is gonna be on.
Well, you have to take your headphones out.
Oh,
I just thought you remembered that from last time. You and Johnny both
no,
can't.
I had all stuck in my earring. I had them in the last time though.
You had a what?
I had my headphones in when we did it, but I'll pull it up, okay?
I played my music on our DVD player.
She did. It was like the most early 2000s thing I've seen.
I love it. That'll make it work.
All right. Zach's going to sing a song. I think everybody should sing an individual song at the same time, but different songs.
Definitely not.
You know what?
Michelle, definitely not. Johnny, okay.
Have you heard me cough? There's not much singing that's gonna
Listen.
All of your guys' personalities just showed right there. Zach was like, listen. Michelle's like, definitely not. John's like, okay.
Oh gosh.
All right, Zach, what are you singing for us? Other two, I'm taking you off.
So because we're talking about like Putnam and stuff, I'm gonna do the prayer of the comfort counselor because it's just a jam.
Okay.
I'm going to pour this up and I'm going to press pause and start it over.
You might want to turn it down.
Come in.
Turn it down just a bit.
Okay, so it's down. We should have did a sound check.
I just thought
Okay.
you'd be good. I don't know.
You know what?
All right, take it away, Zach.
Can I sing this song?
You good? You
Are
ready?
you ready?
Yeah, take it.
Yeah. Dignity, this ends, but first on our list, You can go with pride. You've been the best looking dude we've had all day. And you're a real smart dude as well. Now go home and spell. Give your squeeze some affection. Come on, make the connection. Spell with patience and care. That duty's my prayer. All you need is the strength to pretend it's no big deal. Try to look like you don't care. Try not to cry, Lord, in front of your brother. Don't embarrass your mother. Make your exit with care. That is my prayer. Goodbye, 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 bye, goodbye forever, yeah. Goodbye, goodbye, ooh, yeah, goodbye. Ah, goodbye. Woo!
Yay.
You hear that?
What?
Could you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just heard the music, not your voice, but we just acted like it was fine.
Don't make me kill you.
Hey, we're all quarantined. You don't know where I live. No, that was great. I actually, to be honest, forgot that song existed until right now.
Me too.
When did that happen? Was that at the end of Act 1?
It was at the end of Act 1. It was so funny because we pulled somebody up there and it was just a great crowd interaction moment.
Do you remember the shtick I added in at intermission with Cam? That it didn't work the first night. Do you remember that?
When he just sat up there.
He was supposed to. So like the lights went down and everybody left, and like lights came up and Barfay was still on stage, and everybody thought the show was still happening. So nobody would get up to intermission. He was like frozen, and he was like, "Go to intermission." And eventually, I was like, "Cam, just leave the stage."
We just went straight upstairs.
It was hilarious. And I think that happened just because accidentally he didn't get off in time one night at rehearsal. And I was like, no, we have to keep that. That's hilarious. It was so cringy. He's so good at cringy.
In my husband.
Oh, I wonder how Cam is. I haven't thought about Cam in a while.
Cam, I love you.
I just like, out of sight, out of mind. I don't know.
It was just weird. You're like, haven't thought about him in a while.
You didn't say it like that.
In my mind, he did. In my mind, he said it like that.
I cannot.
Anyway, I'm trying to remember if I have any more questions for y'all. This is what happens when I don't write stuff down. We could just keep talking all night. We'll just be here until 3 a.m.
Guess what? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
My poor neighbors. They are like, who is this? Why is he screaming again?
They love it.
Mine too. I was practicing this morning with piano with the windows open this morning, and I was really sucking. And my neighbors turned on their radio in the backyard and blasted it like super loud. I was like,
it's like Friends. Anyone watch Friends? The guy that's next door to Joey that's singing in the morning. Morning's here. Joey's like, I love that guy. Anyway, anyone else have anything they want to say before we peace out?
Living Single was better than Friends.
I don't even know what living single is.
And that's a problem.
The original Friends.
It was the original Friends
Oh,
with Queen Latifah. Okay, I'm just gonna stop, and I'm just gonna trust you to go on Hulu and binge it.
I already forgot what the name of it is.
Living Single.
Oh, I should know all about that.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad I got my girls. Keep your head up, what? Keep your head up. That's right. Okay.
Oh, that's a good question. What is everybody watching on Netflix right now?
Ooh.
I already answered this question. It's like Inception.
I don't know if you've seen that movie, Johnny.
You know what? I'm rewatching ER.
Oh,
Yes.
It is
Michelle,
so good.
Awkward.
that was
From
a very.
MTV.
Oh,
Yes, girl.
It's so good.
Yes.
I'm rewatching Parks and Rec for like the 10th time.
That's fair.
I can't like rewatch something. I can if I already know what's gonna happen.
It's
really
all I
aren't
do.
paying attention.
I've watched The Office through like 17 times.
Can
Oh my
confirm.
God, you already
And-
know what's gonna happen.
I know, but each time I find something that's funnier. Like, because there's just so many moments in The Office. There's always something new to find.
That's how I feel about living single. Yes.
I also have some trust issues, so I don't like watching new shows. I just watched Community for the first time.
Oh,
That was pretty
Solid
good.
choice.
yeah.
What's that? What?
Why are you scoffing at him?
It's a show created by the guy that created Rick and Morty. It's basically like the live action version of Rick and Morty, but with like people at a community college.
Oh,
It's really funny. You should watch it.
okay. Avatar: The Last Airbender is coming to Netflix, and that's the one show I have watched like 3 times through.
I could
It's a
never. I hated that show as a child.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I couldn't. I just hated it.
But the beginning is kind of bad, so you have to.
But the whole thing is kind of bad. You have to wait till the last episode.
No, Alex. The writing and the voice acting and the character arcs are so beautiful. And there's, you got anybody? Have
Well, there's enough of that. No, I'm just kidding.
You're a cow. That is so
Rude.
bogus.
all right, whatever. Well, it's coming to Netflix, and we're gonna have to have a podcast episode where we talk about it. So you're
We can watch our
StreamYard.
Netflix party.
StreamYard is
Yeah.
the only place where I could kick people out of my life, like for good. You know, just like remove from stream, go, and then they're out, and then I can add them back.
all right. I've got stuff to do.
Rude.
Right.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for joining and telling some stories about Putnam and lightly drinking and having some fun.
I was drinking juice and water.
Yeah, me too.
John's like, I had beer. I didn't hide it. I'm not a coward like all of you.
I was
drinking wine. What do you want me to put it in?
Why would I get in trouble? I'm not at a church. We can't drink and cuss at the church. Anyway. All right. I'm training for Miss Hannigan. Okay.
Something is wrong with him.
Somebody just angry reacted. Deb. Oh, she's watching Hollywood. She said it a lot of times. I didn't see it. Hollywood. 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 No,
Oh, I
Hollywood.
miss Deb.
No, Hollywood. You suck. Hollywood. And then
I
she
would love to have
angry.
watch at least the pilot of Hollywood just for Deb.
Yeah, now we have to go. All right, let's all go and watch Hollywood. Okay, guys, we're going to end our live stream broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you this
Bye,
week.
you guys. I love you.
Bye.
Bye, friends.